3 years ago, a new racing series was brought on the street and right into the middle of our big cities, the Formula E. But it was not only the idea of putting the series into an outstanding setting, it was the idea to put the vision of new mobility into the mind of people. Well, so far as the series started, some people said racing with electric cars is just like soccer with women. So we're going to figure out what changed in the last years and what results the Formula E brought to the e-mobility today. And I'm so glad that I can talk about that with Professor Dr. Peter Gutzmer, Deputy CEO and Chief Technology Officer of Schaeffler, and with Lucas di Grassi. I think everyone knows him. He's the reigning champion of the Formula E. Welcome. So, Mr. Gutzmer, do you like women's soccer, or why did you join the Formula E from the first second on?
I could give a very easy answer. I like soccer in general, so why not soccer? Women playing. They play very tough, and he as a Brazilian also knows that. But no, honestly, I think the future of mobility is electrifying the whole powertrain, and at the end it will be electric. And if we remember back more than 100 years ago, when car industry started, the first engineers, the first car guys, they immediately ended up in competition. So those cars were slower than horses, than horse carriages. So the people were surprised. They were stinking, they were noisy, they were slow, but still they improved. So we should not compare with current one. That's a new approach, that's a new challenge, and that's the future. And competition, engineers, everybody, people like competition. And that's the ideal transport medium, the transport car racing for the future of mobility.
I think if they had seen your victory last season, they wouldn't have said that, because it was a very emotional moment. So we just have a quick look at this moment to understand what Formula E is about.
Thank you. What can I say? An amazing weekend. We did the job yesterday with the race win and pole position, and today we brought it home, the car. A few points enough to seal the title. So 2017 World Champion of Formula E. Thank you very much for your support. Thank you very much for watching, for cheering for me and for the team. Thanks for the support, for all the partners, for Schaeffler, Audi, all the sponsors, everybody that was with me this year. I really appreciate, and see you next season.
So, when you see those pictures, still heart beating?
Yeah, of course. It was a very emotional win in Montreal. There was a lot of effort going on. The championship is extremely difficult. The level of competition is extremely high. We have more manufacturers than Formula One involved in Formula E. We race only in street circuits. There is no margin for error. So to win a championship in its third year, after 2 years being so close and not winning it, it was a great comeback, and 100 kilos less out of my shoulders. So we had a very big party. We celebrated a lot.
How do you stay tuned? I mean, you said it right before, you were 2 times so close, and then now you finally did it. How do you stay tuned? What's your secret?
I don't know, just pushing hard, just being focused, try to optimize every opportunity, every point, every race. It's very difficult to be consistent in Formula E because of the lack of testing. The tracks are all brand new for everyone. So we managed through consistency win the championship.
And how important is the team that's beside you and with you?
The team is a great part. So actually three different players. The team, the operational team, which did a fantastic job. Our technical partners, like Schaeffler, we had our own drivetrain, so the motor, inverter, gearbox, all the rear end of the Formula E car is free to develop as you wish, but keeping the same battery and chassis for everyone. So it's actually very close together because you can only develop some parts, but without the know-how and the technology understanding and performance of this drivetrain would have no chance. So combining these 3 points, we managed to achieve to beat any other driver and claim the title this year.
So, Mr. Gutzmer, you are also part of the team, and you were on site when Lucas clinched the title. Tell me a bit about that day. What did you feel in that moment when you were standing there and he really succeeded?
Yeah, I think it was very close to what Lucas felt. For us, it was a kind of adventure getting into that. We decided to bring Schaeffler as a company, a well-known supplier in the automotive industry, into the future. And future, as I mentioned, future of mobility is electric. And to show our competence, like I mentioned, it is important to compete. And that's how we started. And of course, if you do something new, if you do something surprising, if you do something that some people are even laughing about, you are a little nervous. Is this okay? So I knew right from the beginning that the colleagues around Abt, very, very tough racers, very competent racers, and I of course knew Lucas, a very encouraged and also focused, well-known and a winning driver. So the package was okay, and in the beginning, honestly, we were the weakest point because we were the unknown. The powertrain, we've never made racing powertrains, we've never made e-motors. All the others were experienced in this field. So this was in the beginning, and after 3 years, second year of our powertrain, first year was with a standard, being in that position, this is outstanding. And so it was more than 1 ton that I lost on my shoulders to really be there, and I was really happy. I was not happy for me, a little bit for me as well, of course, but most for the team that we have built it up, because racing is team. Everybody has to do his job and have to contribute. At the end, it's the driver. At the end, it's luck that you need to have. We had bad luck in the second season. There was a huge chance to win even there. But at the end, it went down. This time, the luck was on our side. And so it was
the luck and the knowledge and the nerves.
Yeah,
I have to keep it calm all the time.
Yeah, no, he did an outstanding job. I couldn't have done it. So I was when in this race, I was really not sitting. I was back
standing.
and forth.
All right. So following the last season, it was quite obvious that you didn't have the fastest car. But what made you nevertheless win this title?
Team, like Professor Gutzmer said, a team spirit, a team effort altogether. We didn't have the fastest car, but we managed to have the best team. We did the least amount of mistakes on the team side, on my side. Reliability of our drivetrain was impeccable. We had 0 reliability problems the whole season. So putting all together, we had a very, very, very good consistency. We managed to be on the podium 7 times, win 2 races, and claim the title in the last one by a good margin, by a 24-point margin, which is the highest one in Formel E history so far.
Congratulations at this time again. So what is the role of Schaeffler in the Formula E? Because it's very important for you, I see, and we feel it when you talk about that.
Yeah, I think we are a little bit like the competitors, founders of something very new. And so this is kind of entrepreneurship, this is kind of something new, and we are proud of that. And I really believe that Schaeffler, with what we have decided, what we have done in the team, has contributed to the success of this series. Of course, like Lucas said, this was the combination, but everybody can be proud of what had been accomplished. And we are proud and happy that we will continue for the years to come in that combination, with addition of the Audi colleagues now. And hopefully be and show the same success.
That's a good point. Audi is joining this race too. What is the difference in the next season, in the upcoming season, with the role of Audi?
Yes, I think in the beginning, as I mentioned, it was Hans-Jürgen Abt and his team who really got into that, who really built it, the German team. We joined later on, and when we talked together for the powertrain. And we, right from the beginning, had a very nice and very successful support from Audi. So Audi was watching that, was supporting us. but mainstream was Abt and Schaeffler. And from now on, Audi takes over the leadership. We are same relation that we had with Abt before with Audi now. So it's a joint team of Schaeffler and Audi for the powertrain, for anything around the powertrain. The development of the car is now complete responsibility for Audi, and for the team during race, for any race related activity, this is the Abt team. So the responsibility, the roles are changing. For us, for Schaeffler, the role is more or less the same. And I'm very pleased that we could sign with the Audi team another 3-year contract. So we will stay. And we laid a very nice, and this is what I'm also proud of, we laid together with Lucas, with the Abt guys, a very nice foundation for Audi. But on the other hand, they are challenged now. I think they have to prove that they are as good as we had been.
So how do you challenge them?
We're gonna keep pushing. Of course, it will be very hard to win a title again. Formula E is becoming more strong, other manufacturers are joining. But I think we have a good team. I've been with Audi since 2012 in LMP1, in the World Endurance Championship, and then Formula E now. So I believe that Audi has the capacity to build a very strong team too. We have the support from Schaeffler, we have the support from Abt. So I think I'm very happy to stay where I am and fight for more titles in the next years.
So the e-mobility is a very strong topic here on IAA. What did you see today of the new mobility here on this trade fair?
Yeah, I think we always said this is not something that happens once, or this is a kind of digital move into e-mobility. So that's a very important need, that we have the ecosystem working. That means we need cars with electric or hybrid drives. We need to have the supply of the electric energy and the creation. So this is moving. Now every manufacturer is really getting into that, offering that. People get really into that. What I'm still see and what we need to establish there, it's coming, this is technology and emotion. This is normally, the new cars are sold and presented by technology, which is rational, more or less, but this technology is combined with emotion. And we see more and more emotion around this kind of very logical and very rational e-mobility. There's more and more cars coming, so it's more and more offer, the people are interested. And we are interested and we are curious to see how this develops. For this show, it's really the most, the number of e-cars is there. The Lucas told about Formula E will be outstanding, because this is the series which never, as far as I know, happened in motorsports. There's so many OEs are really competing there, and that's really challenging. And they see how important e-mobility and emotion, e-mobility and competition in a global approach really is. And so this show is a step in that direction, and it will continue.
So, when you have to convince the people who still say it's just like a soccer game with women, how can you convince them? How can you say, join us, come visit us and see what is Formula E really about? So, I mean, the upcoming season is quite in front of us, so.
To be honest, I think this analogy is very, it's very bad, because what's the problem of women playing football or watching women playing football? I actually prefer watching women playing football than men playing football, myself. But the analogy.
And I think a lot of men, but they don't say it.
To be honest, but what I can say is that it is at the very beginning. Like Professor Gutzmer said, Formula E has been there only for 3 years. Formula 1, other big series, they've been for 56 years. So they built a heritage They build a tradition out of it. And Formula E is just at the beginning, and we already have more than twice the manufacturers than Formula One or other series they have. So that shows the interest of the new technology, of what's going on. On top of that, we can see now actually the fastest production car in the world is electric, 0 to 100. And more and more electric cars are coming, exciting cars are coming, fully electric. So electric is not, actually the power density of an electric motor is much higher than any combustion motor. Our Formula E motor weighs 20 kilos and has 300 horsepower. So if you imagine that to put 4 motors like that in a normal car, you can have only 80 kilos with 1,200 horsepower. So for sure, a car like this
I would drive with that.
Okay, then
right.
then I will take you in the car that actually we are doing.
All right.
That has 4 electric
That's a promise.
motors.
We have it on camera,
Okay,
so we
that's
try that
done.
out. All right.
For actually electric cars, they're very fast. What needs to be evolved, and now it's being pushed forward, is the battery technology. The same as people have on their phone and they say, oh, my battery is finishing. With electric cars is similar problem. It's the energy storage system, it's not the motor. It's not the lack of noise. Actually, the lack of noise is only something positive. So now I think the evolution, how this will, next years with all the investment, solid state batteries, will evolve very quickly. And then pretty much will be just in the long term, will be difficult to see countries allowing for motorsport which is non-electric. Or as soon as they start banning the sales of combustion engine cars, like Germany announced, like UK announced, like China recently announced, with a transition phase, but we say in the long term, in 50 years, probably motorsport will be much more only electric than combustion. Combustion will be just a classic car racing. So we are just at the tip of the iceberg, and I'm very proud to be part of this revolution.
So we hope that you have such a successful season as the last one, and who want to convince himself or herself from this great series has a chance in Berlin this year. And I wish you all good luck, and thank you so much for this interview.
Thank you, my pleasure.
Thank you very much.